Hey friends, hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Well, it's been about a month now since I became a wheel owner. Thanks to you guys who helped me out and supported me on Patreon. Thank you so much. I love you, and I'm just makes my heart flutter. The wheel in my possession is a Thrustmaster TMX Pro with a tasty T3PA pedals. This setup feels really nice, even with the wheel mounted on my desk and using my computer chair to race in. I have played each and every racing game I have enjoyed over the past couple of years, and I wanted to just give you my opinion on if the game is actually better or worse for me on the wheel. I mean that in terms of enjoyment and how much fun I'm having, or if I'm becoming faster with my lap times and everything. Let's jump straight into Project Cars 2 first. On Project Cars 2, I taught myself and practiced heavily on racing using the standard Xbox One controller, and I got pretty decent at it. I knew this game would be a perfect one to jump into and test the new wheel out. Long story short, I freaking love it. The wheel feels amazing with stock settings, and feels even better with some tweaking in the settings department. I've been playing so much Project Cars 2 that I honestly noticed some things about the game that truly annoy the hell out of me, but that's for a different video. I have much better control of the car, the physics and overall feel while racing is very natural, and I just love racing in this game and using the TMX Pro. Am I faster? I am a little faster, and I am drastically enjoying this game more due to the wheel. It just feels a lot better and just a more of a natural feel and fit with Project Cars 2. Now let's jump into Forza Motorsport 7, the game that favors the controller uses by far on a casual level and on a professional level. I was eager to try out the wheel on Forza Motorsport 7, and while I had fun, it has its issues. The TLDR opinion for this is, it's mixed, but leaning towards worse in terms of being fast. Now, it's actually more fun to use the wheel, so I know for a fact I am much faster on the standard controller, and while using the wheel may be immersive, exciting, and honestly just feel better, it's just ultimately a worse overall experience. I am only a month into using this wheel on Forza as well as these other games, so this opinion is subject to change. But for instance, I never thought about using the heel-toe shifting technique, but I hopped into the Audi TCC race car the other day, slapped on sim steering, put the transmission settings on manual with clutch, and practiced this technique for hours. And at first, while it was horrible, I started getting the hang of it, and it's incredibly fun to nail, and honestly, it makes the car handle even better. It's hard to master, but you can use manual with clutch and a sim steering with this wheel. You will have a better experience, so I'm still working on this. Forza Motorsport 7 is honestly better on controller, but I will continue to use the wheel, because the more I use the wheel on this game, the more better it starts to feel. It's not as quick of a transition as it was for Project Cars 2, but until then, I'm using the wheel on Forza, but I'm definitely slower. I've noticed that in the multiplayer hoppers. I'm definitely mid-pack now instead of front of the pack, and I'm talking mid-pack with people I've never raced before, and usually I beat those people. So now let's talk about Formula 1. Formula 1 games always seemed really foreign to me, and they always felt really odd on the controller. Shifting was okay, steering was twitchy, and the throttle control was completely garbage. Now with this wheel, I'm having an absolute different experience, and in all honesty, it made me love this series of games even more. The utter control and feel of the wheel with default settings is truly a game-changing experience. Racing around the Australian GP for the first time, I was putting in times better than I ever was, and I was in the Haas car. I have much better throttle control, braking feel is 1,000 times better, and shifting with the TMX Pro is an absolute breeze. If you have a wheel and don't play F1, you should try it out. I highly recommend it. If you love F1 games and don't have a wheel, why? Why not? Go buy a wheel. The results and pure joyous amounts of fun I had while racing it was incredibly worth it. So yeah, F1 experience for me has changed drastically. I'm much faster, and it is much more fun. Now, Horizon. Forza Horizon series is a different breed. Forza Horizon 4 is more arcadey, quote-unquote, than the previous games I have mentioned, and vastly leans toward controller users and casual players. While this doesn't mean there's not a competitive side to Horizon, there most certainly is. This just means the target demographic is different than the peak Cars 2 demographic, if you catch my drift. It took getting used to and definitely had to tweak some settings, and I honestly dig using the wheel on this game. It's very fun, and I feel as if I am much slower. Sorry. It's very fun, but I feel as if I am much slower than I was before. Just like with Forza Motorsport 7, I'm just faster in the third-person view on controller with these games. I don't know what it is. Maybe just some practice with this view and setup, but using the wheel and cockpit mounted cameras just make me slower, even though the wheel cockpit cameras with the wheel is much more immersive. So, I'm kind of mixed, because I do have fun playing Horizon with the wheel, but it's way more frustrating than the other games I've listed. So, considering how good I was at the game on controller, making the transition was the hardest on the Horizon series. So, it's fun, sorta, but on a competitive level, I'm very, very slow, and I suck at doing rally cars and doing the trails and dirt racing on Horizon. And speaking of rally and dirt, let's go into the last game for today's video, Dirt Rally 2. It's a different breed of racing game. The game is very hard on controller and equally as hard using the wheel, but for different reasons. The game on controller was very twitchy, while the game on the wheel, it just seems to be... it's still kind of twitchy, but it's less... I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain. There is some dead zones there, I guess. I could probably change that in the settings, but it's really hard to judge certain turns on the wheel, and I'm still learning that. The game itself is very hard to master, whether you're using controller or the wheel. The physics are stellar, and the gameplay is rewarding if you can survive the courses. The wheel took some getting used to, and I feel like I need to tweak the settings just to make it a little bit more perfect. The driving experience is outright insanity, and I mean that in a good way. I am much more cautious, however, and as a result, I am slower on the wheel. At least I feel like I'm slower. I've never ran a comparison time to see if I'm actually faster on controller or wheel. I don't know if it's because how immersed I am, but I drive with a little fear in my chest playing Dirt Rally 2 using the TMX Pro. So, let's break this down really quick. We'll go back to Motorsport. I am a little slower. I'm definitely a little slower, but I'm having a little more fun with the game. It kind of re-sparks some interest in there, and I'm learning a new shifting technique which will help me out in other games, I'm sure. I will try to translate that into Project Cars 2 and Dirt Rally 2 after some tweaking and finding out which car really suits me. Faster on... Okay, so Forza Horizon 4, I'm definitely faster on controller, but the immersion using the wheel is much greater, so it's kind of there's a split there. Actually, I would say out of all 5 of these games, Forza Horizon 4 was my least favorite to play on the wheel, if that will help you out at all. Formula 1, oh my god, it's been like the best racing experience now. I'm much more faster on the wheel, and I'm having so much fun using the wheel on F1. So, yeah, it's definitely an upgrade from the controller. Project Cars 2, I'm a little faster, but the experience is much more engaging and just overall super fun. It's having the wheel is just a must-have for Project Cars 2. And Dirt Rally 2, I'm still on the fence. It's such a crazy hard game, and but I will say it is more fun on the wheel. And I do believe I am a little faster on the wheel because my turning is just much more consistent. And with the controller, I was a little twitchy. And I will say that if you're trying to do e-braking and stuff on Forza Horizon 4 for drifts and rally, and Project Cars 2's rally, and Dirt Rally 2's rally, and Rally Cross, it's kind of hard having... like just changing the e-brake to the B button, because sometimes you need to turn or engage the e-brake before the turn, and I don't know, maybe there's a way to do it, but with this wheel, I just like focusing on racing and not so much drifting in crazy rallycross, because it just doesn't feel natural. I think I would need to use the handbrake and maybe even the H pattern shifter that Thrustmaster offers. So there we go. There are the games and my experiences so far and my opinions using the wheel, the Thrustmaster TMX Pro, on these games. Thank you so much for watching, listening, and subscribing and sharing. And leave a comment on if you plan to get a wheel, which wheel would you get if you have a wheel, your experiences with it, which games are better on controller, which games are better on wheel, in your opinion. And yeah, let's have a discussion down in the comments section. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.